Hi, I'm Eryc. I'm the Senior Solution Director for Customer Experience at eSource. We're a research, advisory, data science, and consulting company that helps utilities and municipalities become more sustainable and more customer-centric. I'm also a keynote speaker, a writer, a storyteller, a DJ, and a judge for the 2020 North American Customer Centricity Awards. Now, as a speaker, my goal is to ignite positive change for you. I'm not here to be the sage on the stage, I'm here to serve. So my hope is that over the next few minutes, I'll share some new ideas and perspectives that will challenge your assumptions and inspire and instruct you to confront the status quo, to think differently, to act boldly, and to change things for the better. Now, I know that we're at this event to focus on customer centricity, but I'm here to tell you that customer centricity is just the tip of the iceberg. Much has been said and written over the past few decades about making workplaces more customer-centric. Business philosophers of all kinds have encouraged organizations to put the customer at the center of their business, to obsess over their customers, and even to love their customers. And then a sort of backlash erupted, as backlashes often do, and it encouraged organizations to become more employee-centric, put their employees at the center of the business, put employees first, and yes, to love their employees. Now, as with most dichotomies, the truth is both and neither. Organizations that choose to focus on customers or employees miss the point. In fact, it's impossible to be customer-centric or employee-centric unless an organization is first human-centric. In my years of working in and with organizations, I've found that human-centric workplaces where work is more than just another four-letter word, get better results for their customers, for their employees, for their suppliers, for their shareholders, and for their communities. But creating a human-centric workplace isn't just a matter of being nice to employees and customers, though that might be part of it. I think there are more profound principles that are operating, that acknowledge that business is nothing more or less than humans serving humans. And I think it's vital that we work to uncover what those key principles are. In parallel with all the talk of customer centricity and employee centricity, has been a great deal of talk about automation, artificial intelligence, evil job-stealing robots. Every week, it seems there's a new insight about how humans are being removed from value creation, replaced by algorithms and automatons. But removing human effort from work is nothing new. Ever since the Industrial Revolution, we've made strides toward taking low-value work out of human hands and giving it to machines. And as we've done that, the nature of work done by humans has changed. And back in the 80s, Peter Drucker coined the term knowledge worker to label a new breed of employees whose primary tools were information and their brains. And since then, we've eliminated, outsourced, and automated so much of the low-value work that's required to bring products and services to market that the work that's left for us, the humans, is of extremely high value. So rather than making humans less important, this evolution has made us more important. In today's economy, value is often created when humans interact, whether it's employees serving their colleagues, employees serving customers, or even customers serving fellow customers. Value creation depends on human interactions. This means that many of us in the modern economy have evolved from knowledge workers to interaction workers. And this makes a human-centric workplace critical to success. And what's more, we spend so much time working, and what we experience at work crosses over into other areas of our lives, and it spills over onto the friends and family and people we hold most dear. So what we experience at work doesn't just affect ourselves and our organizations, but also the larger communities and societies we live in. And for that reason, creating human-centric workplaces isn't just a business imperative, which it is, but it's also a moral imperative. Now, what I'm about to share with you is not a how-to guide. Instead, I hope it's a concise and easily digestible summary of 13 guiding principles for leaders and organizations that want to go beyond customer centricity to create truly human-centric workplaces. These principles are presented in no particular order because I believe each item is equal to the others. There's no hierarchy among these principles. And I would also say this list isn't done yet. In fact, I reserve the right to review, revise, even contradict these principles later as I learn more. But my hope is that by articulating and sharing these guiding principles, I can begin an important conversation among leaders and business philosophers like you. This will be a quick video. There isn't that much to say, but the concepts I'm about to share, if you contemplate them, are a bit dense, and I think their potential to create meaningful change is considerable. So while you can fly through this video in just a few minutes, I encourage you to pause and reflect on each principle. What does it really mean? What's Eryc trying to say? How does it challenge assumptions that I have held? What would be different if I let that principle guide my approach to work and life? Take your time. Question what I have to say. Argue with me. Philosophize. Don't just watch and listen, but engage. Oh, and just one more thing before I get to 13 more things. Each guiding principle is presented in an X is greater than Y format. Now, this approach makes sense to me because I'm not declaring that Y isn't important or isn't necessary or should be banished forever to an island with no Wi-Fi. Instead, I'm saying X is more important. It's more powerful. It's more empowering. And it's more worthy of our focus. So now, let's get on with it. It's time that we realize that possibilities are more powerful than problems. Human-centric workplaces develop the ability to see what's truly possible. Of course, we often have to solve problems at work, but we need to stay focused on vividly conceiving and pursuing new opportunities that go beyond fixing the current state. See, I want to build new electric rail lines, metaphorically speaking, that go to exciting new destinations. And I can't do that if all I'm doing is repairing old railroad ties. It's better to involve people than it is to instruct them. Organizations that aren't human-centric think that change happens when you teach people new information. Human-centric workplaces know that change isn't real until people think and do things differently. And people are more likely to do things differently when we are a part of creating that change. Meg Wheatley said, "We all support what we hope to create." Now, sometimes change requires acquiring new knowledge or skills, but we should start by involving as many of our fellow humans as we can in co-creating the future we want them to embrace. Now, so often, what leaders and managers and organizations think they want from their workforce is compliance. They want them to do what they're told. But what they really need is connection. And when we humans connect in meaningful ways, we create new possibilities and stronger, more resilient communities. The power of authentic connections far exceeds what can be accomplished by simply getting employees to comply with new rules, new policies, new procedures. Now, every person and every organization has strengths that contain their potential to make awesome contributions to their colleagues, to their customers, to their communities. And we should work to uncover those strengths and build on them. And I believe they're more important to the organization's future than any weaknesses that might exist. Now, extrinsic motivators. They can get us to do things we don't want to do, for a little while at least. So for example, I'm dreading making this dentist appointment, but afterward, I'm going to enjoy a fistful of gummy bears. But gummy bears are never going to make me love going to the dentist as much as I love doing this. When we feel emotionally connected and committed to what we do it far better and for far longer. Clarity is greater than cleverness. Don't get me wrong. I love brilliant ideas and ridiculous puns, but I also know that attempts to be clever can often confuse and constrain, where clarity can inspire and impel positive change. And when it comes to leading that change, so many leaders focus on what is changing. And that's important. But when all of the members of a team or organization understand why a change is necessary, we can often create better ways to achieve the change. And when circumstances require a focus on what is changing, we should turn the focus to putting those changes into a broader context that we can all understand and support. Now, if we want effective leadership, I will take authenticity over authority every day of the week. When leaders, both formal and informal, show up as their whole selves, they create powerful connections. They inspire action, and they teach others that authenticity is a superpower that far exceeds the power that comes with hierarchies and titles. Now, when humans come to work, we don't stop being humans. And when humans become your customers, we don't stop being humans either. I happen to think that humans are pretty freaking awesome. So instead of always thinking about employees or customers, let's harness the power of people, capable of literally almost anything. Instead of trying to direct and control the actions of customers or employees. I come to think of it, I'm not even sure I like that word, harness. Now, listening can do more to drive change than talking. And I know I'm doing a lot of talking right now, but when we listen to one another, we create connections, we create trust, and relationships that make us capable of more. I believe the best leaders, again, formal or informal, know how to ask questions and really listen to the answers. And what we do consistently over time has more impact than what we do once with great pomp and intensity. This point was really crystallized for me by Simon Sinek. We develop more constructive and powerful beliefs when our experiences and learning over time tell us we're expected to be constructive and powerful. A single training, a well-worded poster, these won't do it, but consistent, intentional experiences over time will. And when we feel that an organization and its leaders care about us, can help us, and can be trusted, we become capable of more than even we thought was possible. The potential of love to ignite and inspire is far stronger than the power that fear has to compel and control. Now, finally, we is stronger than they. What we mean when we say we makes all the difference in what we're capable of accomplishing. And what we need now more than ever is a bigger, broader sense of we. When our we is small and includes those we work closely with or just those we perceive to be most like us, our potential is correspondingly small. But when we broaden our sense of we expand what's possible. So how will you be more human-centric? As I said at the beginning, this collection of 13 guiding principles is not intended as a how-to guide for creating a human-centric workplace. Instead, I hope that you'll take these principles forward into your own work life to make work more human. Whether you're an entry-level employee, a middle manager, or a seasoned senior leader, you have the power to make your workplace more human-centric. Your mindset, your attitudes, and your behaviors can make a difference. And will that difference be positive or negative? That's up to you. Now, as I wrap up, I encourage you to keep these 13 guiding principles in mind. Revisit this video, bookmark it. Each day, find a way that you can bring these principles, or even just one principle, to life, to make your workplace and the world a little better. Human centricity is not a destination, it's a practice. So what will your human-centric practices be? I know that you're awesome, and I can't wait to see what you do next. Thanks for watching. Again, my name is Eryc Isle. If you work for a utility or a municipality and you're interested in becoming more sustainable and human-centric, I encourage you to visit esource.com. And if you don't work for a utility or a municipality and you want to learn more about making yourself, your team, or your organization more human-centric, please visit erycisle.com. I look forward to meeting you.